Good morning. Today we are going to discuss one of the exciting assignment from class 10th and the topic heredity. Let us discuss one by one question. The first question, state the law of segregation. So here law of segregation, which is state, means here segregation, means here separation. So what is the meaning of this segregation is separation. In the previous assignment, as we have discussed regarding this, the separation of alleles for a particular character which is expressing that in the half springs. So law of segregation is among a pair of alleles that transfer randomly to half spring. So law of segregation, for example, if you take that capital T and the small t, this is tall and this is dwarf. So only one is expressing that in the half springs. Among these two, only one is expressing to that of half springs. Okay, so the half spring is consisting of that both capital T and the small t. So among these two parental characters, parental alleles, only one will be transferred and then it will be expressed in the half spring, and these two will be separate itself and then only one gamete will be passes to the of next generation. So that is nothing but here law of segregation among a pair of alleles that randomly select a copy that transfer to the of half spring. Okay, so let us go for that of next question. So the next question is explain the law of independent assortment with a dihybrid cross. So monohybrid cross is a cross between that plants taking off only one character, whereas the dihybrid cross, here they are asking about the dihybrid cross. So here we need to go for the of taking two characters, true traits. Okay, so a cross between two plants consideration of taking two characters or traits. So here we need to take that two traits. The first one is seed color and the second one is seed shape. So seed color, which is yellow, green, seed shape, round, wrinkled. So here these two characters, based on these two characters, as we are crossing that two plants. So in the F2 generation, whatever the characters we will get, that will be independently assorted. So this has been proven by the Mendel by his whatever he have selected that in his monastery, and he have explained that how the variations are passing from the one generation to other generation. So by taking of these two characters, Mendel did that many experiments and he have got that the varieties of plants. Let us discuss that. The first one is here round and here yellow and green are there, and round and wrinkled are there. So let us express in a alleles. Capital R represents that round and smaller representing that wrinkled. Where this yellow, capital Y, and the small y representing that green color seeds. So parental characters, if you take that capital R, capital Y, here this is a dominant characters. This is what the dominant characters, and this is recessive characters. Okay, so one parental plant crosses with that of the other parental plant, smaller, small y. Okay, so when these two plants which are having that, producing that gametes, capital R, capital Y, because here it is expressing that law of segregation, only one will be randomly sent to the top of the half spring. So one R and the other one Y, here also small r and the small y. So after this cross pollination, we will get that the F1 generation. Let us see that here. Okay, so the F1 generation, as we are getting that capital R, capital Y and the small r, small y. Okay, all it is expressing that 100% plants in the F1 generation, all are expressing dominant characters. So what are the dominant characters? Round and yellow. And after this self-pollinating of that same plants, we will get that a F2 generation. So in the F2 generation, here we have got that the gametes of capital R, capital Y and capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. So the same characters here also it is expressing that a male and the female. When you are writing this in a board, means in a table, this is called as checkerboard. Okay, so like this way as we can write the gametes, capital R, capital Y, round and yellow, because it is having that round and yellow, whereas this capital R, capital Y and the small y. So round is a dominant here, and Y gene is also expressing here itself, it is yellow. So wherever it is capital R, capital Y is there, it is expressing that round and yellow. Wherever it is that capital R and this small y, here round and green, and small r, capital Y, which is expressing that wrinkled and yellow. Small r and small y, which is expressing wrinkled and green seeds. So if you see this, all the 9 characters are expressing that round and yellow. 9 characters, round and yellow, and the 3 characters are round and green. Where the small r, which is, and the capital Y expressing that 3 characters, here it is wrinkled and yellow, small r and the capital Y. So all these 3 will comes under that wrinkled and yellow 3, and only one we can see that small r and the small y. Only one we can see that wrinkled and the green. Okay, so this ratio physically it is as we can see that a characters, visible characters, this expression is called as phenotypic ratio. So Mendel's dihybrid cross phenotypic ratio is 9:3:3:1. Where comes to that of xenotypic ratio, genetic expression of an individual is called as 1:2:2:4:1, 2:1, 2:1. So simply you can remember that 1:2, 4:1, 2:1, 2:1, because this ratio is the biggest number, no? So thus we can conclude that a factors for each trait remains that independently assorted. That's the reason here the dihybrid cross is called as law of independently assorted in the F2 generation. That is called as law of independent assortment. So when we are crossing the 2 characters, it is expressing that independently, one is different from the other one. So if you see that a checkerboard, you can find that capital R, capital R, capital Y, capital Y. In this table, there is no other character. So we can consider that it is independently assorted. It has its own characters. So it is called as here independently assorted. So this kind of law is called as law of independent assortment. So that is what whenever they are asking in the examination, law of independent assortment, as we need to write that a dihybrid cross. That's all for this assignment. Thank you.